Every nation has figures whose presence shaped the course of its history. Leaders remembered not only for their politics, but for their charisma, their controversies, and their legacies. In Nigeria's first republic, one man stood out, a man of wealth, flamboyance, and influence. That man was Chief Festus Okotie-Eboh. Born on July 18, 1912, into the Ishekiri royal family in Warri, Niger Delta, Festus Samuel Okotie-Eboh grew up surrounded by tradition and privilege. His father, Prince Okotie-Eboh, was an Ishekiri chief, and young Festus inherited a heritage of leadership and influence. But he was not content with titles alone. He dreamed bigger, of business, of politics, and of leaving his mark on a nation that was only beginning to find its place in the modern world. Educated in Nigeria, Okotie-Eboh built his early career in the private sector. By the 1940s and 50s, he was already a successful businessman, deeply involved in trade industry and community development. His charisma combined with his wealth propelled him into politics, and in time, when Nigeria was on the brink of independence, he quickly became a central figure in the political movement of the era. He would later join the National Council of Nigeria and the Cameroons, the NCNC, the party founded by Nnamdi Azikiwe. His rise was rapid. He became the national treasurer of the party, trusted with managing his finances, and later took over leadership of the NCNC parliamentary wing from Kingsley Mbadiwe. By 1957, Okotie-Eboh was appointed Nigerian's Minister of Finance, a position he would hold until 1966 for nearly a decade. He presided over the nation's treasury, navigating a fragile economy, foreign loans, and the challenges of a newly independent state. But it was not just his policies that made him famous, it was his personality. Okotie-Eboh was larger than life, known for his flamboyance, his flowing robes, his jewelry, and his grand public appearances. He became one of the most recognizable figures in Nigerian politics. Some admired him as a symbol of African pride. Others criticized him as extravagant, especially in a country struggling with poverty and inequality. His lifestyle earned him both admiration and resentment, and soon whispers of corruption began to follow his name. Allegations of financial misconduct haunted his years in office. Critics accused him of mismanaging public funds and enriching himself while the young public faced mounting economic pressures. Supporters, however, argued that he was unfairly targeted, punished for his success, his Ishekiri heritage, and his refusal to conform to the reserved style of other leaders. On January 15, 1966, Nigeria faced its first military coup. Soldiers struck in Lagos and other major cities, assassinating key political leaders of the First Republic. Among the casualties was Chief Festus Okotie-Eboh. He was captured and killed by the coup plotters. His death at just 53 years old marked the violent end of Nigeria's first republic and of one of its most flamboyant statesmen. Today, Chief Festus Okotie-Eboh is remembered with mixed feelings. To some, he was the flamboyant chief of finance, whose love for grandeur overshadowed his service. To others, he was a patriot, a bridge between Nigeria's traditions and its modern aspirations. What cannot be denied is that he was unforgettable. His name remains etched in the story of Nigeria's independence, its struggles and its sacrifices. In the end, Festus Okotie-Eboh's life was as dramatic as the era he lived in. A prince, a politician, a financier, and a victim of Nigeria's turbulent beginnings. His story reminds us that the making of a nation is never simple. It is written in the lives, choices, and sacrifices of those who dared to lead. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this documentary, please don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more stories about the people who shaped our history.